Yo, fam. Stop scrolling. What if I told you one of hip-hop's biggest names might actually be begging a reality star for a date? But here's the twist, none of it's real. Screenshots went viral, social media exploded, and everyone was talking. But it was all a hoax. Who started it? Why did it spread like wildfire? And what's really happening behind the scenes with Yo Gotti and Angela Simmons? Stick around, because the truth is way juicier than the rumor, and it's about to blow your mind. What's up, fam? Welcome back to the spot where we break down the latest in hip-hop, pop culture, and celebrity tea, no filter, no fluff. If this is your first time here, make sure you smash that subscribe button and tap the bell so you're always in the loop. Today, we're diving into a rumor that's been lighting up social media, gossip blogs, and even TikTok threads. Did Yo Gotti actually beg Angela Simmons for a date? Before you shrug it off as just another celebrity gossip, hear me out. This one went viral for a reason. Screenshots allegedly show Yo Gotti sliding into Angela's DMs with messages like, "I can't stop thinking about you. Let me take you out, I'll treat you like a queen, and please give me another chance." Some posts suggest the two had a private fling that ended on a sour note, and now Yo Gotti is supposedly desperate to make amends. Naturally, the internet went wild. Headlines blared, rap mogul begging reality star, while fan pages churned out doctored pics of them together at events they never even attended. But here's the thing. The twist? None of this is real. Not even close. Today, we're breaking down where this rumor came from, why it spread like wildfire, and what Yo Gotti and Angela Simmons are actually up to. Stick around, because the real story is far more compelling than the gossip. See why this hoax felt believable, and why it's so misleading. We need to understand who Yo Gotti and Angela Simmons truly are, beyond the flashy headlines and Instagram snapshots. Mario Mims, better known as Yo Gotti, is way more than just a rapper. Hailing from Memphis, Tennessee, he's crafted one of the most powerful independent empires in hip-hop. As the founder and CEO of Collective Music Group, CMG, he's been instrumental in launching the careers of stars like Moneybagg Yo, 42 Dugg, and ESTG. But Yo Gotti isn't only about music. He's a sharp entrepreneur with ventures in real estate, fashion, and a reputation built on loyalty and street credibility. At 43, he's spent over 20 years in the industry cultivating a public image defined by discipline, focus, and quiet confidence. He rarely dives into tabloid drama, and his personal life, especially romantic relationships, has largely stayed private. When he does speak on matters of love, it's usually in the context of fatherhood or building generational wealth, not chasing gossip headlines. Then there's Angela Simmons, a cultural figure whose influence runs deep, though not always in the ways people assume. As the eldest daughter of Rev Run, of Run DMC fame, and Valerie Vaughn, Angela grew up with the spotlight firmly on her, thanks to MTV's Run's House, which gave viewers a front-row seat to her family's life from 2005 to 2009. But she didn't just coast on her father's fame. Alongside her sister Vanessa, she co-founded the fashion brand Pastry, launched a thriving yoga and wellness venture called Simmons Beauty, and has been outspoken about her spiritual journey, mental health advocacy, and her experiences as a single mother. Now in her mid-30s, Angela has intentionally stepped away from reality TV chaos, channeling her energy into entrepreneurship, mindfulness, and raising her son. She's made it clear that her priorities are peace, stability, and meaningful relationships, not fleeting flings or social media drama. So when the rumor emerged that these two, Yo Gotti, the grounded Memphis mogul, and Angela, the spiritually-minded businesswoman, were caught up in some dramatic, tear-filled reconciliation, it immediately raised eyebrows. Not because it's entirely impossible, but because it's so far removed from the way both of them operate. They move in very different worlds. Yo Gotti navigating the high-stakes, competitive landscape of Southern rap, and Angela building a life rooted in balance, purpose, and intentionality. In reality, Yo Gotti and Angela Simmons operate in completely separate worlds. Angela is immersed in wellness and fashion, while Yo Gotti dominates the Southern rap scene. They've never been photographed together, never mentioned each other in interviews, and have zero known professional or personal overlap. That alone should have set off alarm bells. So how did this rumor even start? It all kicked off in late 2023 when a now-deleted Instagram account shared a series of screenshots claiming to show private DMs between Yo Gotti and Angela. The messages were loaded with drama. Yo Gotti allegedly wrote things like, "I messed up, Angie. I know I did. But I can't sleep knowing you're mad at me. And one date. Just one. Let me show you I've changed." Meanwhile, Angela's supposed replies were cold and dismissive. "We're done, Mario. Don't text me again." Within hours, the screenshots went viral. Meme pages, gossip accounts, and even some minor entertainment blogs picked them up, and the story morphed into an elaborate narrative. Some claimed the two had secretly dated for months before Yo Gotti got too busy with his label, while others insisted Angela had caught him cheating. Soon, the phrase "Yo Gotti begged Angela Simmons" was trending on X, formerly Twitter, with users joking about him on his knees or crying in the studio. Here's the reality check. Digital forensics experts and social media investigators quickly exposed the screenshots as the fonts didn't match Instagram's native messaging style, and the timestamps were all over the place. Some messages appeared at 3 a.m. Eastern, even though Yo Gotti is famously an early riser, usually hitting the gym or studio by 5 a.m. Even more revealing, Angela Simmons hasn't personally handled DMs on her main Instagram account in years. She's explained in interviews that all fan and business messages go through her team to protect her privacy. And the biggest giveaway? Neither Yo Gotti nor Angela ever responded to the rumor. Their silence wasn't indifference, it was a signal. When a story is so obviously fabricated, no statement is necessary. If there had been even a kernel of truth, their publicists would have issued a denial to stop the speculation in its tracks. Instead, life went on. Yo Gotti dropped a new CMG compilation album, while Angela rolled out a meditation course on her wellness app. This wasn't just a harmless meme or playful gossip. It was a deliberate piece of misinformation designed to generate clicks and stir drama where none existed. The goal was clear: generate clicks, likes, and shares. And it worked. The rumor spread so widely that even a few mainstream outlets mentioned it in their celebrity news roundups, giving the fabrication a veneer of legitimacy. This is the danger of today's digital world. One fake screenshot can snowball into a full-blown story long before facts have a chance to catch up. But why did so many people buy into it? It's not just about being gullible. It's a mix of psychology, nostalgia, and how our brains process celebrity stories. For starters, both Yo Gotti and Angela Simmons are highly recognizable names, especially for millennials and Gen X hip-hop fans. Yo Gotti has been a fixture in the scene since the early 2000s, and Angela became a household face during the golden age of reality TV. When two familiar figures are paired, even without any real connection, it tricks the brain into thinking there's plausibility. Humans naturally want to connect dots, even if there are none. Then there's the storytelling angle. The rumor tapped classic narrative tropes: the powerful man humbled by love, the strong woman standing her ground, the pleading for forgiveness drama. It's like Shakespeare with an Instagram filter. People gravitate toward these stories because they are emotionally satisfying. Imagining Yo Gotti vulnerable and begging is far more thrilling than acknowledging that he's simply focused on growing his empire. Third, there's a deeper bias at play in how we perceive black celebrities, especially successful black men and women. Society often casts successful black men as either hyper-masculine or emotionally unavailable, so the idea of Yo Gotti begging feels shocking, almost taboo. Meanwhile, Angela Simmons, independent, poised, and admired, is framed as the unattainable queen holding all the power. These stereotypes drive clicks and engagement, but they completely erase the real complexity of who these individuals truly are. Then there's the algorithm. Social media thrives on outrage, drama, and strong emotional reactions. A post that reads, "Yo Gotti is a successful CEO" might get a few hundred likes. But one screaming, "Yo Gotti begged Angela Simmons after cheating" can rack up hundreds of thousands. Creators know this, so sensationalism becomes the shortcut to virality, even if it's completely fabricated. Truth takes a backseat, engagement rules. Nostalgia also played a big part. Angela hasn't been on regular TV in over a decade, but Run's House still has a loyal fanbase. Linking her name to current hip-hop royalty like Yo Gotti created a bridge across eras. 2000s MTV meets 2020s trap music. It felt like a full-circle moment for fans, even though it never actually happened. Meanwhile, while the internet spun fairy tales, Yo Gotti and Angela were busy building real legacies. Yo Gotti has been laser-focused on expanding CMG globally. In early 2024, he signed a major distribution deal with Interscope Records, giving his artists international exposure. He's also invested in Memphis community projects, including youth entrepreneurship programs and a recording studio for local teens. In interviews, he consistently emphasizes that his priority is creating opportunities for the next generation, not chasing headlines. His last serious relationship was years ago, and has spoken openly about valuing focus and solitude over distractions while building his empire. Angela, meanwhile, has fully embraced her role as a wellness advocate. Her podcast, The Angela Simmons Show, features in-depth conversations with therapists, educators, and experts on mental health, mindfulness, and personal growth. She's prioritizing substance over spectacle, focusing on empowering others while nurturing her own life and family. Angela has been fully immersed in wellness, entrepreneurship, and personal growth. Through her podcast, The Angela Simmons Show, she connects with spiritual teachers, therapists, and fellow entrepreneurs to explore topics like healing, boundaries, and self-worth. She recently teamed up with a clean beauty brand to launch a line of plant-based skincare, and she's been candid about her struggles with anxiety and the transformative power of meditation. In one Instagram post, she declared, "My energy is sacred. I protect it fiercely." That hardly paints the picture of someone caught up in a messy, public romance, especially with a person she's never publicly acknowledged. The truth is, both Gotti and Angela are thriving in their own lanes, not because they are avoiding love, but because they prioritize purpose over performance. They don't rely on manufactured drama to stay relevant. Their work speaks louder than any viral rumor. Now, the narrative that circulated online about a relationship is completely fabricated. However, in a different context, Angela and Gotti's real lives, their paths simply diverged. Sources have noted that Angela began to feel like she was investing more into a dynamic than she was getting back. Gotti's schedule is relentless: studio sessions, label duties, business ventures, and constant appearances. For someone like Angela, who has built her own empire, being sidelined was not an option. Angela Simmons isn't a background character. She's a powerhouse. She runs fashion lines, fitness brands, reality projects, and manages her career, all while being a devoted mother. When you're operating at that level, you demand consistency, effort, and respect. Over time, it became clear that Gotti wasn't providing that in the ways she needed. Meanwhile, Gotti was at the peak of his career, steering CMG Records and nurturing emerging talent, including rising star Glorilla, who was gaining massive attention with her breakout hit FNF. Angela's occasional proximity to Gotti, whether in studios or at professional events, was purely professional, not romantic, despite what the internet would have you believe. Angela's presence at events, on stages, or in studios was often misread as part of her personal connection to Gotti. At first glance, fans and outsiders assumed it was purely professional, but the late nights, public appearances, and frequent interactions quickly fueled speculation. Whispers turned into gossip, and before long, headlines practically wrote themselves. Despite her calm and composed exterior, Angela found herself at the center of mounting drama, while Gotti's personal and professional lives began to intertwine in ways that complicated matters. By 2023, their relationship appeared to be on a positive trajectory, or at least, what fans perceived as positive. Angela and Gotti went Instagram official, sharing photos that looked straight out of a fairy tale. Angela posted a picture of them smiling together with the caption, "Yo, all I need." From the outside, it screamed couple goals. Fans hailed them as hip-hop's ultimate power couple, a grown-up romance seemingly untouched by the typical chaos of celebrity relationships. But Instagram, as always, can be deceiving. Behind those perfectly curated images, insiders noticed cracks forming. Angela reportedly felt she was carrying the emotional weight while Gotti coasted on appearances. The love story that looked flawless online wasn't as strong behind closed doors. She wanted genuine effort and attention, not just photo ops and red carpet moments. Meanwhile, Gotti's relentless schedule and professional obligations left her feeling overlooked, making tension inevitable. Adding another layer of complexity was Glorilla, the rising star on CMG whose breakout hit FNF was turning heads. Fans and insiders began noticing that Gotti's involvement with her went beyond professional support. His behavior suggested personal intentions, sparking further scrutiny and public speculation, and creating one of the most talked-about embarrassments in his career. The situation escalated when Glorilla went live on Instagram and publicly called out Gotti, putting him on blast in front of millions. Suddenly, Gotti's carefully cultivated image took a serious hit. The power couple aura that Angela and Gotti had built over the years was shattered, and Angela's place in the spotlight seemed increasingly uncertain. The drama didn't stop there. Reports emerged that Gotti had shown up at Glorilla's birthday with a brand new Maybach, wrapped in a massive red bow and worth around $200,000. Not just flowers, not just a cake, a full luxury SUV. Shortly after, he reportedly gifted her a $60,000 diamond-studded watch. Was this business or personal? It didn't really matter. The optics were damaging, and fans started questioning Angela's role in the picture. Actions speak louder than words, and Gotti's actions sent one message loud and clear. Things weren't as simple as they appeared online. Meanwhile, Angela remained composed. She didn't lash out, didn't post dramatic statements, and didn't engage in the chaos. Instead, she focused on her businesses, her son, and her own well-being. Gotti, on the other hand, was scrambling. Sources say he sent flowers, made countless late-night calls, and even tried private meetings to mend what was broken. Fans watched in real time as the man who had once been so confident now seemed desperate, pleading to fix a relationship slipping through his fingers. Angela's silence became her most powerful statement. Without throwing shade or making a scene, her calm and measured approach said it all. Some chapters are closed, and some wins don't come twice. Fans quickly recognized the dynamic. Angela wasn't chasing, she wasn't desperate. She was moving forward, focused on her life, her son, and her empire. Meanwhile, Gotti's public efforts couldn't rewind the clock. Years of pursuit, flirtation, and the building of a private connection were now unraveling, all under the unblinking eyes of a captivated online audience, watching the fallout unfold like a live reality show. This story isn't just about drama, it's about timing, effort, and recognizing your worth. Angela's calm energy, measured responses, and focus on her own life illustrate a vital lesson. No amount of money, gifts, or public displays can replace genuine effort and attention in a relationship. Gotti's public scramble, once so confident during his pursuit, serves as a reminder that chasing love doesn't guarantee a second chance. Sometimes, realizing someone's value comes too late, and the lesson can be both humbling and highly visible. Fans remain divided. Some roast Gotti, joking, "Bro, you finally realized what you lost." Others secretly root for a reunion, hoping love might bridge the gap. But Angela's energy is unmistakable. She's unbothered, focused, and moving forward. As the drama continues to play out, the internet watches every post, every gesture, and every move. What began as a seemingly perfect fairy tale, a rapper publicly crushing on a reality star, has evolved into one of the most public, dramatic breakups in recent hip-hop history. Angela Simmons has emerged as a powerful example of knowing your worth, maintaining dignity, and making strategic choices in life and love, moves that speak louder than any flashy gift or social media caption ever could. In reality, Angela and Gotti were involved, but sources say the relationship wasn't easy. Despite her public poise and business acumen, Angela began realizing she was investing more into the relationship than she was receiving. Gotti's schedule was relentless. Studio sessions, label responsibilities, appearances, and business ventures left little room for personal connection. Angela reportedly felt she was no longer a priority, even though she had once been the center of his attention. Meanwhile, Gotti continued publicly flaunting his admiration and signaling that he wanted her back. From the outside, it appeared as if he was trying to rewrite a story that may have already ended. The stage was set for a collision between personal desires, professional obligations, and public perception. Adding another layer to the drama was Glorilla, Gotti's rising star, whose breakout single FNF was taking the hip-hop world by storm. Ambitious and talented, she relied heavily on Gotti's mentorship as her label head. But as his attention shifted toward Angela, through late-night calls, lavish gifts, and attempts to rekindle their connection, Glorilla reportedly sensed the imbalance. Sources suggest she experienced a mix of confusion, frustration, and jealousy. What had once been a professional relationship now carried personal undertones, and the optics were impossible to ignore. Fans immediately picked up on the dynamic, speculating about tension among the three parties, and the story snowballed from there. Here's where it gets really intense. Sources say Gotti, desperate to win Angela back, went all in: flowers, private dinners, diamond-studded watches, and even a Maybach. But despite the extravagance and public attention, it became clear that effort alone couldn't rewrite the deeper truths. Angela had moved on, focused on her empire, her son, and her personal growth, leaving Gotti scrambling in the wake of what he had let slip through his fingers. Yes, a Maybach truck. This wasn't just a romantic gesture, it was a full-blown statement. But Angela's response? Silence. She didn't snap back, post passive-aggressive captions, or publicly call him out. She stayed calm, collected, and completely unbothered. Glorilla, however, couldn't help but notice. Fans speculate that seeing Gotti's relentless pursuit of Angela stirred feelings of jealousy, insecurity, and frustration. Her career was on the rise, and she relied heavily on Gotti's guidance as her label head. Watching him lavish attention on someone else, especially a woman he had openly chased for years, was reportedly uncomfortable. This is a classic scenario of a young star witnessing the collision between personal and professional boundaries. Sources say the tension was palpable, eventually seeping into public perception and creating a narrative fans couldn't ignore. The drama truly exploded when Glorilla went live on Instagram. She didn't name names, but viewers immediately connected the dots. Her frustration, confusion, and implied jealousy over Gotti's energy toward Angela were obvious. The internet erupted. Was this a love triangle? Were professional boundaries being crossed? Could a personal pursuit actually impact careers? Just like that, what began as private dynamics became public spectacle involving three major players in hip-hop. Bloggers, fans, and social media personalities quickly analyzed every move, fueling the story even further. Caught in the middle, Yo Gotti had to navigate not only the fallout from his personal relationship with Angela but also the implications for Glorilla, his rising star. One misstep could disrupt the delicate balance between personal desire and professional responsibility, and the pressure was mounting. Fans were glued to every post, performance, and interaction, scrutinizing each for hints of favoritism, tension, or jealousy. It was like watching an unscripted reality show unfold live, with millions of eyes on the drama. Glorilla's position in this triangle was particularly tricky. She needed Gotti's mentorship to sustain her skyrocketing career, yet she reportedly struggled with jealousy and frustration as he devoted energy to Angela. Unlike Angela, who could remain unbothered and independent, Glorilla had to operate within the industry ecosystem. Her emotions and reactions could directly impact her professional trajectory and public image. This tension between ambition, loyalty, and personal feeling made the story irresistible to fans. Every glance, comment, and subtle interaction was analyzed for clues, and the narrative practically wrote itself. This saga highlights a critical lesson at the intersection of love, power, and public perception. Yo Gotti's personal actions, his desperate attempts to win back Angela, had unforeseen professional consequences, affecting Glorilla's emotional state and shaping public perception. Angela, with her calm, measured energy, provided a stark contrast to Gotti's visible desperation. Glorilla, balancing rising fame and personal emotion, represented the complex realities of ambition, loyalty, and vulnerability in the public eye. The tension here wasn't just about romance, it was about the collision of personal and professional worlds. This triangle highlighted influence, control, and how the choices of one powerful individual can ripple across multiple lives and careers. Fans noticed the stakes immediately, and the internet acted like a magnifying glass, amplifying every move, misstep, and glance. On the surface, this rumor might seem frivolous, but it underscores a deeper problem in media culture: the erasure of black excellence in favor of sensationalism. Reducing Yo Gotti to a begging ex strips him of his identity as a CEO who mentors young artists and runs a successful label. Framing Angela Simmons as merely a love interest ignores her agency as an entrepreneur who has built brands from the ground up. These narratives profit from drama, pain, and vulnerability, all while sidelining stories of black innovation, resilience, and achievement. Fake rumors like this also have real-world consequences. They distract from meaningful work: Yo Gotti's advocacy for criminal justice reform or Angela's support for single mothers, and create stress for those targeted. Imagine being Angela Simmons and watching strangers debate a relationship with someone you barely know. It's invasive, dehumanizing, and exhausting. As media consumers, we have a responsibility to pause before we share. Ask yourself, who benefits from this story? Is there a credible source? Does this align with what I actually know about the person? If the answer is no or I don't know, don't amplify it. So, to set the record straight, Yo Gotti did not beg Angela Simmons for a date. There was no secret romance, no dramatic fallout, no tearful reconciliation. Just a cleverly fabricated hoax that exploited our fascination with drama and our desire to believe either the worst or the most romantic version of a story. The real takeaway? Yo Gotti and Angela Simmons are both thriving in their careers, communities, and personal growth. And that's far more inspiring than any fake love story. If you love deep dives like this, hit that like button, subscribe, and share this video with someone who needs the truth. Let's flood the algorithm with facts, not fiction. Drop a comment below. What celebrity rumor should we investigate next?